Okay, I'm going to start this again. I'm going to demonstrate the installation and how you kind of set up a one-page extension template. So I'll back up a little. You start at the Disciple.Tools GitHub website repo on github.com/Disciple.Tools. Then you can search for one page. This is a template already made so that you can easily make a small quick addition. So I will start with my local one. And I'm going to call this one my name because I'm going to make a little plugin that will change all the names inside the database. So include all branches. Now just create this repository. So I'm going to take, now this is name obliterators getting generated from the one-page extension, which is great. And I'm going to take and clone this to my local development environment. So I find where I want to put it. So pull this down, the name obliterator. Okay, that's installed. And now I can probably look into my list here and find the name obliterator. Great. And basically what this comes with is an admin page and a README page. So on the admin page, I've got a couple notes. Please rename class and function names before using this template, which is great. So I'm going to change the plugin environment here. I'm going to say this is a Disciple.Tools extension name obliterator. And I can change my extension here. Which is where I'll publish it once I finish working on it personally. This is a small utility to obscure all names in the database used for making a local database security sensitive. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a tool so that I can do more of these kind of demonstrations, and I can take a database and obscure every name in it, so I don't have to. So I don't have to do this over and over again. So then down here, you can do any of those things you like, but here's the main thing about setting this up. I'm given the key words to refactor, and so I'm using PHP Storm, but most any IDEs have this. You can refactor. I'm gonna search. Mind stop there. I'm gonna put in the term I want to refactor, and I want to refactor it to name obliterator. And I'm going to replace all. And I'm replacing it all inside the path of name obliterator, inside this plugin path. So I'm just going to make sure everywhere it says admin page, I'm going to update it to name obliterator. Replace all. Yes, I'm going to replace them all. Then I'm going to go and do the same with this. This is going to update the class names. So I'm going to, let's see, open up my replace for everything inside this name path. I'm going to change it to name obliterator, and then I'm going to follow the convention. So this is capitals, camel case, and then underscore, not camel case really, but underscore. So I'm just going to take my same name of my plugin, and I'm going to follow this pattern because it's going to replace class names and some other associations. So I'm going to go replace all. And I'm going to do this one more time with admin page. Copy. I'm going to here and replace the admin page. I'm going to do the same. Name underscore obliterator. All right, obliterator. And then I'm going to replace all. Okay. Cancel. Looks pretty good. Okay, replace all that. Now what I have is a non-conflicting, plugin. I believe the current version of Disciple.Tools. Where should I go here? Back to Disciple.Tools. Let me see. I'm pretty sure we're working in the releases. Double check. We're at 228. Okay, so I'm going to go back and say this thing is good as of 28. So that'll push people to, that way you won't hit any kind of legacy or non-dependencies in your plugin. It'll be the current state of your tool. You can actually disable rest so that we can keep the system moving light. If this, basically determines if I am going to run a URL path and do some REST API work with this particular plugin, I can pop my needle in there and say, anytime you see this, run this system. If not, if it's a REST call, don't run this system. And I don't want to run this system, so I'm going to leave it sample. It's going to check for functions to be loaded. It's going to compare versions and do all. So this is where we got all kinds of things. But here, check this out. This is pretty cool. Okay, so I have renamed all of the elements in the one-page plugin. I've given it a new name and some information up here so that it shows up correctly. And what I've actually done also is used a symlink, and I have put it into the directory of my local development server. And so let me refresh. You should see this thing show up in the list. Disciple.Tools, name obliterator. There we go. So, okay. So because I put it in the plugins directory, now I've got my one-page template already showing up. I'm going to activate it. Activate. All right, everything's activated. Now it should show up in this list here, name obliterator. So all DT extensions, starting with that template, are automatically designed to show up inside the extensions area. And so down here, I've got name obliterator. So I'm going to click on that. And there's a default panel provided with a header and information content area. You can find this. Let's see back. Let me close these things up. I scroll down a bit and you'll see my content area. Here's my content. Here's the name. I've already made some changes to the titles and the name, and this is the tokens for adding page menu, adding page. This is a placeholder. And then you've got content, and then it's got a permissions area. Right now, if you do not, if I scroll back up, you'll see this permissions area. If I have a permission that is less than manage DT, which is your standard administrator for DT level, then the page will not load. It dies. And then you basically, here's your left column, right column, and here's the content holder, placeholders for those content. So I'm off and running. I've got an admin page loaded. Name obliterator is ready to go. And I'm ready to actually start adding and building this utility. So I just wanted to show how to use the one-page name, one-page extension to quickly get a plugin up and going. Now down here, I can add functions and add my code and add any kind of new content that I want. Okay.